Hello, viewers, and welcome to today's program, Real Talk on Schengen Story Media. I am Vincent Inhesinono, your host for today. Here on Real Talk, we bring you fresh news from all over the world and Africa. And we also have guests who would analyze incisively new trending news from around the world and Nigeria in particular. And here to do that with me today in the studio is Chuma Matthew Ebomuche, our man in France. Chuma, say hello to our viewers.
Hello, viewers. A pleasure having you on board.
You're welcome. And again, we have Mike Godwin Iwajowa, producer of the program and anchorman of Schengen Story Media. Mr. Mark, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, viewers. Thank you very much, Honorable Vincent. It's good to be here again.
Thank you very much, and you're welcome to the program today. So we will run through the headlines making the rounds around the world, and then we get down to our news analysis, analyzing the trending issues from around the world and in Nigeria. Let's start with Afghanistan, where it is said that the Taliban has seized control of 3 more Afghan provincial capitals in Shafak. Then from the US, Dixie wildfire in California grows to area larger than Los Angeles. And in Australia, Australia has given conditional green lights to COVID Moderna vaccine with first million doses arriving next month. Next month, that will be in September. And in Mali, suspected jihadists kill more than 40 in a Mali village attack. From Russia, we got a report that 22,160 new COVID-19 cases and 769 deaths have been reported in Russia. A United Nations Science Panel to release key reports on climate change. And in Turkey says wildfires no longer threatening towns and villages in southwest. And that's it on news headlines from around the world. I'll be bringing in our guests now, so we'll look at the events going on around the world. Let's start with the Olympics that just got concluded. The Olympic just got concluded, and we see a new record being made in Marcel Jacobs, the world's fastest man now, in the absence of the Jamaican guys who didn't make it in this tournament. And again, Nigeria, well, after the poor outing, managed to go home with 2 medals, a silver and a bronze. Let me bring you in here at this point, Mark. How did you see the closing event of the Olympics and the outing of the new record made of Marcel Jacobs as the world's fastest man?
Thank you very much, Honorable Vincent. Yes, humanity was able to beat a tough situation. This year's Olympic was supposed to be last year. It's 2020 Tokyo Olympic. It was cancelled because of the COVID situation. And but this year, humanity said, humans said, we have to beat the tough situation. So the Olympic went as fine as expected, even though a lot of the high expectations were not met. But still, the event went on. Some records were broken, and some new names popped up. So from the normal race, 100 meters dash, and the race event, which is one place a lot of people put their eyes in, we had some new surprises. Usman Bolt is no more there to run, so some new people are on board now. And interestingly, from Italy, we have our new man, Marcel Jacob. Marcel Jacob was able to beat the men's 100 meters this year with 9.9 I think 9.8.
9.8. And Marcel, let me ask you here. Marcel Jacobs doesn't sound Italian at all. How come? Is that not a surprise that someone bearing a purely English name is there representing Italy at the Olympics and even broke records in the case?
That's a good one, Honorable Vincent. Yes, the black gene is working there. Marcel Jacob is the son of a Black American father and an Italian mother. Interestingly, he grew up here in Italy, Lombardia, and he took to athletes, and he's been doing well. So I think it's mainly the daddy's gene that is at place there. He has shown to the world that yes, the black people have a lot to offer when it comes to sports. So he competed very well and came out with that very impressive record. I know wherever Usman Bolt is now, he's probably looking at him and wondering if he will beat his record. So they even made a very good turnout for the 100 by 4 meters. Also, there we have a Nigerian in the team, a Nigerian-born Italian young man, and it was really interesting to see that group of young people putting out strong performance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mark. Of course, Nigerians always do great things outside Nigeria, and that's actually a very interesting point, Mr. Chuma. You see that Nigeria was able to come home. They managed to get just 2 bronzes from Blessing Okorodudu and Ese Brume, silver and bronze in that respect. What do you have to say for that about that poor outing of Nigerians, considering that Nigerians have always been, gold mongers in the past?
Well, thank you. About this Olympics, I believe a lot of things came to play. But if we must face facts, we must look at it. I read somewhere they said America came with, assuming they just take it this way, America came with 101 athletes with 20 officials. But Nigeria came with 50 athletes with 90 officials. Imagine something like that. Actually, that's not the real figure, but the figure goes something like that. We had more officials than the athletes. And then you ask yourself, the officials, are they going to contest or the athletes going to contest? This is a situation whereby patriotism comes to play. Nigeria, we don't support patriotism. I'm sorry to say this, but we are all Nigerians. We love Nigeria, but if only the government of Nigeria can love us, have what we love the nation, we will excel. Look at it. Of all that went, we only went home with only 2 medals.
2 medals.
And worst, we don't even have a good jersey.
Yeah, there were so many controversies that trailed our performance, from our athletes being banned and disqualified to the scandal we saw about Samsung phones. We talked about this last time we were here. The Samsung phones that did not get to the final beneficiaries. Samsung phones from, of course, Samsung as is sponsor, co-sponsors of the tournament. Then again, the fact that there were not enough jerseys for the competing athletes. We saw our man from the US, Chukwudi, is it Chuks? The guy that represented us at a shot put, we saw him having to wash his jersey against
be able to use it again.
Exactly, to use it at the forthcoming event, which is quite bad. And of course, Puma. We saw that Puma also pulled out. Puma that provided
the jerseys. Yeah.
Yes. There's
now
so much controversy about
we read also that the contract for the Puma something, you understand, for the sponsor, for the sponsoring of the Puma, that the contract was signed by a person, two persons, and the money was not even disclosed. That is
$2.7 billion.
$2.7 million.
Billion dollars?
Yeah, it's dollars. I don't want to, you know, make people get angry. Now,
But it's annoying enough.
It's very, very annoying. How do we do this? Olympics is where we go to display our talents. Nigeria is highly talented. If you were following the Olympics, you find out that there were so many Nigerians covering themselves with the flags of different nations. In handball, for instance, you see the one from Italy. The best there is a Nigerian. You saw somebody from that represented Britain. One girl, Eze. There's another one, Adebola or Adeyemi, something like that. These are people, Nigerians, that are willing and ready to represent Nigeria. But is our nation ready to accept them? I am crying. It's somewhat. But let us hope that by next Olympics, we will wake up and we will do better than this. I believe Nigerians are fighters. We will come together. Like somebody rightly said, the Russians came with ROC, Russia Organizing Committee. That's the athletes that came together to represent, or sponsor themselves, get personal sponsors, and then go to do this so that there won't be anything like, things going down.
Distraction from the government. Well, that's fine. Thank you very much, Chuma, for that brilliant one there. Thing is, it's sad really that Nigeria keeps going down and down, especially before the eyes of the whole world, and that's not a good one. It's indeed not a good one. And I believe that in the next 4 years, when we'll be talking about the next Olympics, Nigeria will be better prepared. And again, if we also have the right leaders, just like it was discussed the last time, if we get qualified hands, experienced hands, to handle our sports activities, it will make a lot of sense. I think Nigeria would always come out better because Nigerians are always doing well all over the world. Now, talking about Nigeria here, we have a news that made the rounds recently about a Nigerian diplomat that was manhandled by Indonesian immigration officers. Hey. We saw that video. It's a very heartbreaking video. We saw a scene that almost reminded us of George Floyd, of what happened to George Floyd of the United States, where George Floyd was saying a Cambridge. Incidentally, in this case, the victim, the Nigerian diplomat working in Indonesia, was heard also shouting that he couldn't breathe. Yeah, that's the video there. If the producer could beam that video clip for the viewers to see what happened. I also caution viewers' discretion because what you're about to see is actually a very dehumanizing scene. Those men believed to be Indonesian immigration officers were seen manhandling the man. The man was said to, there are two accounts to that story anyway. They said the man was standing, one account said the man was standing in front of his home when those guys came and picked him, while another said there was a raid in a nearby market where the man was found and then he was taken into the vehicle. This is quite sad. And it seems Nigeria is no longer respected by other countries outside the world. It will be difficult. It will be difficult for you to see an American being handled in this manner by people from that part of the world. Let me bring it to you, Mr. Mark. Well, what do you have to say about that scenario?
My host, it's appalling. We are tired of seeing these things. The story, like you just said, you've given the facts. Nigerian diplomat standing in the entrance of his building and being harassed by immigration officers in Indonesia. And he was not just being harassed, he was pushed into the vehicle and made to go through that gruesome pain of shouting and feeling so much pain in his neck. I think that's the video there. And they weren't even listening to him. He was saying his neck, his neck, his neck.
I can't breathe. My neck, my neck, my neck, my neck.
This is quite horrifying. This is a very horrifying scene, I must tell you. And that's the Nigerian diplomat there, feeling under punishment by people believed to be Indonesian immigration officers. Now, this is quite sad. Of course, this is still a developing story. As we await more details on this issue, we are hoping that the Nigerian government would respond promptly and adequately, you know, to make sure that not just this man. Now, you can imagine if this man is a Nigerian diplomat, what could happen to other lesser citizens of Nigeria out there in Indonesia and some of those Asian countries where their Nigerians are treated with utmost disrespect. Chuma, you saw that video. And did it remind you of George Floyd? What went through your mind when you saw that video?
When I saw that video, first of all, I had the word, I can't breathe. It takes me back to what really happened to George Floyd. But at the same time, that is the same thing that is happening back home in Nigeria. The citizens can't breathe. We don't live in a situation where we have no rights. You are not given, under normal circumstances, you're supposed to, come out and exhibit your talent, do what you can for the country, but you are suppressed. Our investors are leaving. Our entrepreneurs are leaving. Our politicians are more or less talking about their own selves, which is not good. Imagine somebody, a diplomat, being treated this way. Then what happens to Nigerians in other places? A diplomat is more or less like a president of a country or a senior, let's say a vice president or a senate president of a country representing the country somewhere else. And then no right was given to him. Nobody even had what he wanted to say. But I must say, is this not abuse, human right abuse? He had a right. Even if somebody is illegal in your country, first of all, there are ways of getting that person to order. You ask him gently, provide your papers. If you can't provide these papers, you take the person in. But in this case, nothing was done. The same way George Floyd was crying, I can't breathe. Nobody listened to him. He wasn't given room.
Yeah. I get your point, Mr. Kuma. I get your point on that score. The thing is heartbreaking, and much as we expect more details from that story, we expect that the Nigerian government would come out strongly, to make a strong statement against such development. But knowing the Nigerian government and how it's been, we don't expect much. Many Nigerians do not expect much to come from. This is not the first time Nigerians are coming under attack. In Ghana, the embassy of Nigeria was mowed down with a bulldozer in Ghana, and we didn't hear anything from the Nigerian government. Even in Nigeria, people cannot breathe. Like Chuma said, today, Monday, the 9th of August, 2021, we know that in the southeastern part of Nigeria, a group, the indigenous people of Biafra, declared a sit-at-home today. And that is in protest against the continued incarceration of their leader, Nnamdi Kanu, who has campaign, or for the if you look for the reasons, for that campaign for a new country, you would hear cries of injustice. marginalization or disrespect for human beings, gross human rights abuse, which has been noted all over the country. Let me bring in Mr. Mark. Mr. Mark, are you there? Hello, Mr. Mark. Okay, while we wait for Mr. Mark, we've seen videos. I think we have the video. Okay. Mr. Mark, are you here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm sure you have seen the videos making the rounds of the status quo in the southeastern part, different parts of the southeast in Nigeria, where there is total compliance. Businesses are shut down, offices are closed, and this is in protest against the continued detention.
More especially for the popular Asa Road.
That's correct.
For inside Aba, as we monitor the sit-at-home order, where our people, the people, indigenous people of Biafra, they give, make people stay at home today. As we did for Asa Road right about now, if you see, say, we did very, very close to CKC, that four corner for CKC, just around CKC. As you see right about now, everybody, they observe the sit at home. The shops, they very, very, very close. We did for Ekoha Market Plaza right about now. For this market center, you see, say the shops, they did very, very close. Yes, wait till they call Ghost Town. Now wait till they talk right about now. Wait till cause this sit at home order. Now since the arrest of
that's a video, that's a report,
of
a live
IPOB,
report from Aba.
As they can't do their
About the commercial nerve center. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a live video, a live report from Aba in Abia State in Southeast. Aba is actually the commercial nerve center of the Southeast, you know, where major business events happen. People from all over West Africa come to, you know, do their transactions. And this is Aba today. This road here, I actually know it, somewhere around CKC in Aba. That's Christ the King Church in Aba. It used to be a very busy marketplace, but today it looks deserted, as you can see in the video. In total compliance to the sit-at-home order given by indigenous people of Biafra. This is to protest against the continued detention of their leader. Now, Mr. Mark, what do you have to say about this? Some people have actually complained about the way the order came. Some said they would not comply. Some said they are complying because they would be forced by the IPOB people. But let's look at the reason for this whole event. What do you have to say about it? What is the major reason? Why are people agitating?
Well, speaking from the press journalist point of view, as a journalist, we don't take sides. We're not driven by emotions or biases. We just give the facts, and it's up to the people to decide. So speaking from that angle, I want to say this, that the federal government is not being just in the dealings with some section of the country, and the Southeast is one of that section. From the onset anyway, to be fair to them, the IPOB has been a non-violent movement, agitating for their own territory. But along the line, it got a little bit out of control. And today we are talking of the adoption of the leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Also being fair to them, the way federal government is going about it is not very just. It's not democratic. It's not in the parley of human freedom. You can see that they are just taking it out of the context. Now, for this sit-at-home order, as at last night, information coming to Schengen studio is the brother to Nnamdi Kanu said they are going to relieve that sit-at-home order so that students, senior secondary school students, can be involved in the ongoing NECO exam. But midnight of this last night, the IPOB, one of the IPOB spokesman said that Nnamdi Kanu's brother is not a voice for IPOB, that they must go ahead with the sit-at-home order. And behold, this is what is happening today, Monday, the 9th of August. So,
okay, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for that contribution. Chuma, I've heard people, some have complained that this sit-at-home, because IPOB has said that sit-at-home would happen every other Monday until Nnamdi Kanu, their leader, is released. Now, I've heard people argue that this sit-at-home would help further cripple the economy of the Southeast. Do you agree with this?
Well, when we look at the economy strives with continuation and then consistency. But a day out of a week will not cripple an economy, to my own understanding. First, you ask yourself, which economy are we talking about? Is it an economy that people are empowered to produce? Is it an economy that people are empowered to be able to distribute their goods? These are the things we look into. We have good people who are ready to produce. But when you produce something and then you're not able to market that, and you can't even move it away from where you have marketed it, and again, the cost of production is going too high, then when somebody says it's going to hamper the economy, what are you going to say? Today, the nation is turning into a consumption nation. We consume only produced goods. Tomorrow, you will hear somebody will be importing enough toothpick to the country to make money. But we can do all these things. I can remember after the Second World War, America took away so many people from Germany and also in Japan and all those. They were taken over to America or wherever, but they never took away their technology. And today, Germany is back bouncing. Japan is back bouncing. Then why didn't the nation, Nigerian nation, encourage the eastern part that happens to, be an engine house to come up? So if they sit at home for one day, it's not going to stop them. But I know definitely it will affect the economy of the nation because most things comes from that area. At the same time, some students that are taking exams will have to receipt some of those papers next year. So that still boils back to the same thing. But I think what they are trying to do is to see that their voices are heard, that they can't breathe. They want equal right and justice. I'm not asking for freedom or whatever. Everybody is asking for peace, just like Peter Touch said. But what I'm asking for is equal right and justice. That's what I believe they are asking for. And Nigeria will be great.
Thank you very much. I'm sure that if we keep digging into, if we decide to begin to explain this concept of equal rights and justice, it takes us a whole lot of time and day. But we have subsequent events, and maybe we will take time to, explore that option. That is it for the Biafran issue. Let's go on a short break. We'll be back shortly. Please stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Talk on Schengen Story Media. I am still Vincent, and with me in the studio Chuma Ebomuche and Mike Godwin Iwajunwa, our resource persons, doing justice to news analysis from trending news around the world and in Nigeria. Before now, we were talking about the sit-at-home declared in the southeastern part of Nigeria and how it would hamper, how it would affect the economy of the southeast. And I'm happy with what Chuma said when he made reference to the university entrance examination that was slated for today, but this sit-at-home would stop students, obviously, from going to write that exam. Some hold the opinion that if you don't do something strong, you would not get the attention of the government. Others are saying that, no, you should adopt a different strategy, that this would harm the already crippled, already threatened economy of the Southeast. We watch as the events unfold in the weeks ahead because they said this is going to be every Monday affair. We'll see how it goes, and we would always bring you updates on that score. Now, coming from Nigeria again, we saw a video that made the rounds of a soldier, a Nigerian soldier, beating up, manhandling a civilian whom he caught in a military uniform. There it is. Now, this to me looks like a gross human rights abuse. Now he's hitting on this guy with everything, every material at his disposal, and that is a piece of wood there, a piece of furniture he is using to beat this gentleman whom he caught in military fatigues. Now, I am not aware of any law that forbids civilians, from putting on military fatigues, because in Europe and other parts of the world, you see people, dress casually in military fatigues. So why is this an issue? Why is this a big issue, a life-threatening issue in Nigeria, Mr. Mark?
Thank you very much. You're bringing out very strong societal issues, and I'm happy to be part of your panelists on this. Yes, it's interesting how we have this situation in Nigeria, and I think probably in some parts of Africa too, where people are being penalized or beaten for putting on military uniforms. I'm a son of a military officer. In fact, both parents. My mom retired a warrant officer 3, and my dad too. So I grew up in the barracks, and we know what it is to have to be in that community. For the Nigerians situation, most times anyway, people put on these uniforms to commit atrocities. Non-military officers, they do this in most cases. They've been caught in some time. I remember growing up, and some soldiers will be brought into the barracks, and some people will be brought into the barracks and really be dealt with, and even thrown into what they call guard room for wearing uniforms that they are not entitled to wear. That is because the Africans, Nigerians, we are criminal. Some people are criminal-minded. They do these things to claim that they are who they are not. Here in Europe and most parts of the Western world, you can wear the uniform, you can wear whatever you want to wear, and everybody still knows you're not an official. In fact, that demarcation, that difference will be there. But in Nigeria, because people don't have a knowledge of who officers really are, here, the white people, everybody understands what it takes to be an officer. So, but in Nigeria, we don't really know those requirements. We see everybody as the same. So a criminal, a wrong-thinking civilian will put on that uniform and threaten people and get away with it. In fact, it extorts money from people, mob them and do all those things and get away. And we've had cases where even some armed robbery cases where people said they saw civilian, military dressed up people as armed robbers. So this is probably why I'm not giving any reason for brutalizing a human person like that. But I mean, this is some of the reasons. I have been the son of a military officer myself, and I know that the military people respect decorum and orderliness. So they won't want you to just put on that uniform when you're not an officer in the Nigerian context. But here in Europe, it's a different thing entirely.
Well, I didn't know you were the son of a military parents of military background,
Yes,
and
sir.
now I can now understand why you give them your support, why they have your support from what you say. And,
not for that beating. That is not that.
no, not for the abuse, of course.
Yeah, not for the abuse.
I'm aware of a content, a part of the Nigerian Criminal Code Act, section 110 and 111, which stipulates that anybody not being, I quote now, not being a person serving in any of the armed forces of Nigeria wears the uniform or any part of the uniform of such forces, or the armed dress having the appearance of bearing any of the regimental or other distinctive marks of such uniforms, is guilty of an offense and is liable to imprisonment for 1 month.
Yes.
Or to a fine of 10 naira, unless he proves that he had the permission of the president or the governor of the state or to wear such uniform or dress, badge or mark, or to carry such token, provided that this section shall not apply to the wearing of any uniform or dress in the course of a stage play or any bona fide public entertainment. Now, we have, I think, a section 251 of the Constitution also says something like, any person who not being a person serving in any of the armed police forces wears the uniform of any of these forces or any dress having the appearance and blah of the regimental or distinctive marks of any sort in such manner or in such circumstance as to be likely or bring contempt on that uniform, or employs any other person so to wear such uniform or dress, is guilty of a simple offense and is liable to imprisonment for 3 months or to a fine of 40 naira. The offense for wearing camo is laughable, of course, and indicates this part of the Constitution has not been updated. And I see a need for the update. Now, with what we saw in that video and the soldier, is the soldier a court of law? If the Constitution says anything like this, the soldier, is he not expected to, arrest the person and take him to court, for a proper trial, if the person is found guilty, of course, if the person happens not to be an entertainer who's trying to make a show or promote a show or something. I'm not sure. Now look at that. I'm not sure this person was questioned over why he was putting on that attire. And there he is being abused by someone who's a military. That's not a lawyer. That's not a judge. Now look at that. What if this guy collapses and dies? Now, this is dehumanizing. This is heartbreaking, to say the least. Now, Chuma, I know you live in France. Where you are, you see people who dress in different military attires and they don't suffer any abuse. How did you feel when you saw this video? Can you hear me, Chuma?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I said I wept. I wept because this shows there's nothing like respect for life. What are we fighting for? In this civilized country, here in France, you can wear whatever you want to wear. But they know very well that, military men have no business outside the barracks. And when you come out of the barracks, you are bound to remove your uniform unless you are going on an assignment. Even if you wear your uniform to go where you're going to, you have no right, because only the police can arrest, not the military. In this case, military is for war. Now, seeing somebody putting on the camouflage, the first thing you check, there's no badge on the uniform, on the camouflage. Oh, yeah. There's no name tag. And what he's putting, his footwear is more or less a canvas or a sandals. He wasn't putting on a cap to say he's a military man. So why should that guy be beaten like that?
No,
We don't
now
have
you're,
a court
you're
of law.
talking about the guy who wore a top, a camouflage top and camouflage trousers.
Yeah.
But we have also seen instances where someone wearing just a wristband of military color in Nigeria
I understand. I understand. I have seen somebody wearing only a t-shirt. These are camouflage t-shirt, and they were even cocking the gun to shoot the person, and he was crying. That is why I am saying we need to really, really educate our people that a military man has no duty outside the barracks. A military man can only come to work when there is war, or the nation calls up the military. Let's take a look at what happened in America. The attack on the in Washington.
The Twin Towers?
Yeah, not the Twin Towers. I mean, during just last year when Trump was there.
During the Trump,
Mike Pence was trying to, confirm the elections, but people were outside demonstrating. Still, it was the police that came. Now, later they deployed the National Guards that dresses like them. In Nigeria, National Guards are more or less, let's say they're like, mopos. They came to play, but they respected human lives. Then why should you, because of a uniform, kill somebody else? We should educate people that uniform is different from training. Anybody we are wearing that uniform without a name tag, without the badge of military badge and whatever, you should be able to identify that this is just fashion. And
thank you
the other one is not this. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Tuma. You hit the nail on the head when you said that those military uniforms or military fatigues, as long as they do not have name tags or military badges, they are okay for people to wear, just like it's stated there in that part of the Constitution. It has happened to a friend of mine who came in from the United Kingdom. He wore military fatigue shorts, I think. In his own case, after they dehumanized him, they tore the shorts off him, left him with only his undies. He had to call me for me to bring him some of my clothes from the house before, he was able to dress up and then leave the place. But he has never tried that again. And that's quite sad. I think the National Orientation Agency of Nigeria has a lot of work to do in that regard to, first of all, educate our military personnel that wearing of military uniform is no threat. It does not in any way harm the nation or threaten the security of the nation. Yes, we have seen instances where individuals, pretended to be military people and went to rob institutions or people. But then the military should also be able to know the difference between the one they are approved to wear and the one that is being worn for fashion. And on that note, we go to the next item on our list for discussion today, which is this one in this case is now a good news, something to cheer about in the house of the Oba of Benin. Talking about the Oba, let me prepare for this because his name is something that one has to. I might find myself biting my tongue while trying to pronounce his name, and that's the fifth wife of the Oba of Benin, Princess Oloyi Esosa, who is said to have been delivered of quadruplets in Edo State. And the name of the Oba there is the Omonoba Nedo Uku Apolopolo Eware II. I'm glad I didn't bite my tongue while mentioning that. Now, the princess, the wife of this Oba, the fifth wife that is, put to bed quadruplets. And the monarch made the announcement in public on Friday when he received the leadership of the Immaculate Conception College old students in his house. Remember that this is the 40th Oba of Benin, and in May 2020, that was in May of last year, he welcomed his first child after ascending the throne. and the prince was delivered by the princess Oloi Iyayota. That's a different wife now. Now, the birth of these quadruplets is being celebrated at the palace, and the people of Benin Kingdom, home and abroad. Of course, to our Edo brothers, to our Benin brothers, we say congratulations from Schengen Story Media. Let me bring in Mr. Mark here to weigh in on this. The Oba is the paramount ruler of the Benin Kingdom, and in this case, his wife was delivered of quadruplets. Isn't that miraculous in your thinking?
Very, very. That's the big hand of God coming into the royal throne, the palace. We know children are a blessing from God. From the Bible point of view, it says children are a blessing, heritage from God, a gift. So when you have it in this form, this is 4 times a gift. It also talks about blessed are those that have their quiver full of them. So it's really a blessing. I don't have much to say than to congratulate His Royal Highness, the Oba of Benin, and the family at this time. It's a thing of joy, celebration. Now we have a new prince and princess in the palace. So we say congratulations to the royal home. Thank you.
I receive it on behalf of our Edo brothers. Thank you very much. And Chuma, would you like to have quadruplets in your home?
That's a very good question. And I must say, I'm surrounded by twins.
Wow.
Yeah, I was twins. I was senior. I came after twins. After me came twins also.
Really?
And my wife was seniored by twins also.
Wow.
And it runs in the family, actually. It runs in the family. And I am looking forward to something like that very, very soon on my own side. So I want to use this opportunity to thank the Oba. I so much appreciate what he's doing. If we go to the Bible, we can see that God said, increase and multiply, fill the earth. And I believe it's not one woman that will do that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
the Oba is living up to the African tradition and culture. Keep it up, sir. We are happy for what has come to your home, and we believe that this is going to be a big door opener. You're going to start expecting some more suitors coming to your place. In-laws are coming, and most especially Igbos are coming from everywhere. Congratulations once more.
Well, a big congratulations from Schengen Story Media to the Benin Royal Kingdom on, the delivery of the quadruplets. I'm sure with time, anytime we get there, we'll go to drink. How about take our own drink from the Benin Kingdom, of course, in celebration of these new arrivals. And here, on a sad note, we have news of the death of Hossa, a Nigerian billionaire from Edo State, incidentally, Hossa Wells Okumbo, who was reported to have died at 63. If you know Hossa Okumbo, his full name's Ida Hossa, actually, but his friends call him Hossa. Ida Hossa Wells Okumbo, who was a Nigerian business magnate, investor, philanthropist, and a trained commercial pilot. He served as chairman or director on numerous companies, boards all over the world and in Nigeria. And he spans across the multiple business sectors, such as the agro-allied industry, petroleum, telecommunications, power, real estate, and banking industries. He was born on the 7th of January, 1958 in Benin City, and he died on the 8th of August, that's yesterday, in London, England. We say from Schengen Story Media, may his soul rest in perfect peace. I'm sure Hossa touched a lot of lives in his lifetime. Let me ask you, Mr. Mark, you've been around the world, you've done a lot of different things. Did Hossa touch your life as well when he was alive?
Well, that's a good one. Well, what happened was I followed him in his entrepreneurial um, movement. He started up as a pilot. He went to the Nigerian training pilot school, and at a point he dabbled into oil business, oil exploration. We all know our country, Nigeria, is blessed with crude oil and gas. So some of the very smart and agile young men in those days were smart enough to dabble into that business and make a fortune out of it, because it's a lucrative business. So Hosea, the short form is Hosea.
Yeah,
Yes, he went into that business line, and also made some outreach through that line too. He did so many other kind of businesses, and in his own way, he was also a philanthropic person. He supported people, he supported young people, he supported poor people, helped many needy people. And all that I studied, I watched, I looked at his human efforts to want to do things for the needy. So it's sad to hear this news. We had it last night, and we all feel so sad, because these are some of the people you probably think will come in later into politics and will probably make some impact. Because when somebody like this comes into politics, he's not really coming for money again, because he has gotten the money. So you want him to, you expect he comes in to make a change, but that didn't happen. But whatever he has done is it as a man, as a human being, and he did a very good one. Tremendous efforts to humanity.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mark, for that sober one. That's actually touching. Mr. Chuma, did you know Hosa? Did you know Ida Hosa? I know he was a humble man. Not everyone knew him. Not everyone knew that name. And he started life quite early. At 25, he became a pilot. But did you know him? What testament of him do you have?
I heard about the man, but I did not go too close to him or to dabble into his histories. But just that I did the little best I can to know who he really is. He happens to be a silent, I don't know how to call it, a silent achiever,
Oh, yeah?
and a silent donor. You understand? He helps people from afar, and those that come closer to he helps. I was told, somebody said that he has trained so many people who didn't even know that he's the one that trains them, and which is a very wonderful something. But it's very sad that he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. I think so.
Okay.
A year ago, they said he had 9 months to live, but as a fighter he is, he beat 13 to 12 months plus. You know, it's not really easy. And this, if I might be permitted, I would like to use this little opportunity to tell our people that cancer is a disease, but at the same time that we Africans, we have some fruits and things that can help us, combat these things. We always look outside to where we get refined products from, but our herbs does a lot of great works. Like what we call soursop is a very, very strong medicinal, fruit to all of us. To men, especially for both prostate and others, it helps because it goes a long way to reduce, the feeding of cancer products on you. When a cancer ought to feed on your blood or your vein or whatever, but when it gets something that stops it, it starts, drawing back. We all live. So with that, we cut it short because it's not why we are here. Losing Chief Ehosa is a very big loss to humanity.
Very much indeed. It is a very big loss to humanity, to Edo people and to Nigeria. And once again, we send our heartfelt condolences to the people of Nigeria and to our Edo brothers in particular for this huge loss. On that note, we would be wrapping up today's event. And I must thank you very much, Chuma Bomoche, our Schengen man in France, and the producer and director, Mike Godwin Iwajunwa, for your insightful contributions to today's program. I know that people are still, it's summer already, people are going around, having fun. But while you're having fun, you should also be cautious. Be cautious of COVID-19, which is still out there killing people gradually. In this case, I had the United Kingdom Prime Minister Boris Johnson, saying that we are turning jobs into jobs. Jobs. I wonder if you've taken your job. Mr. Mark, have you taken your job?
Not yet, sir. But I hope
what are you looking for? It's important you have to take your job.
Yes.
How about you? Have you taken yours?
Mine is on the 24th. I just came out from a test now, and it's negative, but it's not an assurance for me not to take my jab.
No, you have
Everywhere
to take your
is
job.
filled. 24th, I am taking the first jab.
You have to take your job. Everyone has to take your job. For us to keep life moving, please go out there and take your anti-COVID-19 vaccine. Thank you very much, and stay blessed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We love you.
Love you too.